I just got home from work, and I had some really good things to talk about, and they're not going to be in order, but that is completely okay. I'm allergic to pollen, so my nose is extremely stuffed. But I digress on that. Also, shirt of the day. Look at the Michael Myers shirt. Michael Myers. Okay. Start off on a funny note. And there's no embarrassment in this, whatever. I do know that there's a thing out there where some people fantasize serial killers, including Michael Myers, and I generally realize in my head, I'm like, you realize he could throw you against the fucking wall. Also, welcome to my car. This is my car. I've had this car for years now, and there's some mess in here, but there's also some good stuff. But what I wanted to express, which is so hard to express what I want to express because there's so much going on in the world right now, and I have all these things in my head, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna write notes, and I might try to. I'm gonna try. But what is on my mind right now is the fact of we are never ever gonna agree on the same thing. Like, it's true that you're not always gonna get to agree on the same things when it comes to certain things people believe in. And that's okay. Just like it's okay to be an asshole on this planet. Like, you have the freedom to do that. Do we not want you to be an asshole or a mean or cruel person? We would like you not to be, but we're not dragging you. We're not gonna pull you. But what got me thinking is on the news, particularly not on the news, but on, about is there were kids that were sent to the, El Salvador camps. Now, this is just me venting, and you definitely don't have to listen to my opinion. I would ask you to just kind of listen and have an open mind, but it's scaring me because why are we focusing on things like protesting when I don't know if anybody's watched The Handmaid's Tale, but it all, it's there was a key point before it wasn't turned to Gilead. Alfred and Marina, before they took over, there were people protesting. They were peacefully protesting, and then they were getting shot at. And now it's so terrifying to me that people could get hurt for just protesting. I am definitely seeing some ugly protests, but there are just peaceful protests. And you don't have to be this influencer, popular, big person. The everyday people that I've seen protest, I am so inspired by them, and it's just choosing something to support, because having your things you love, whether it's a school, like when Harvard stands up or when Costco stands up, not everybody's going to be able to do that without showing you can give them support. And also, I thought that was cool, because same thing with the Smithsonian Museum. All these things were federal stuff, and what I don't understand is, one, America has always had some kind of issues throughout the years. It's not always been 100% great, because if you want something perfect, perfect isn't human. Perfect is something that is not human and doesn't have any connection. That's why we preach it's okay to be imperfect. Not everybody's perfect. And if you're aware that that's where you give everybody the kindness, it's just how they decide to go about it is what matters. Because not everybody's perfect, but that shouldn't stop you from saying, oh, there's things that I want to work on, whether it's because I want to show people I care more around my life, or I want to live longer, I want to have open mind. Like, there's so many good positive reasons for doing this. But what I don't, and what's scaring me is so much of the world right now is focused because, one, we're split in two, and it's split, and which is once again crazy because at the end of the day, you get different opinions on things along of that personally affect you, but these are people that are supposed to have the degrees and the research and the actual experience, talk to the everyday person to help us. And what makes this world great is the good ass people out there, the creatives, the people we learn about in history that wanted to make change. And you can't make change because the world's gonna keep changing, but you can't try to control changes in the world by controlling the people that make the world itself. So there's so many issues of we feeding children, fucking homeless other countries' children, and them not having food and starving. And once again, I am not saying, dude, I say all this stuff and then there's times I forget. It is sometimes very hard when you're going through your everyday normal stuff to remember these things. It's just, so don't be hard on yourself. If you remember and you try your best, that is what matters. But trying best means you fucking try. So we have that going on. Closing something that for us heads the main school program that helps kids with tons of food. I'm blanking right now, but I do know it. Why are you focusing on that? Why? Because wanting your focus want to be, okay, if we take this away, we're taking it away, but let's not take it away. Let's just see if we can get more volunteering in. Let's see and speak to the creative people and see what they need. Let's speak to these low-income families and see what they need. Let's do this. And then why are you focusing on a majority or majority groups when their lives do not affect you? And once again, you can have your opinions, but they should be opinions. Sometimes your opinions aren't facts. And sometimes it can be a little bit both. But the point is, when it comes to that, is if you don't like somebody that is in love with a girl or guy, you don't have to like it or understand it. You can go to your world and you can go and be an asshole and rude about it. But what's scary is when you try to flat out creatively dehumanize and target them because they're not the reason why we can't get jobs. Same thing with another minority. They do most of the shitty jobs and don't get paid a lot. Okay? Especially immigrants. They don't get paid a lot to do a lot of the jobs. Farming, don't get paid a lot to do jobs. And carpeting and so much more. Especially when it comes to farming, the less farmers and people we have, the more prices are going to go, which prices are still high. And if you actually talk to the people that have researched and studied, but if you talk to a scientist, they're going to show you facts, and you're not going to like that. So the prices are going to go up, and then only fortunate people can afford them, when the whole point is for everybody to afford them. Everybody to afford. So you're focusing on that. You're focusing on who people are marrying when it doesn't affect you. Especially when, okay, let's make sure we're not letting 16 and 15-year-olds marry other people. That's more concerning when it comes to marriage. Stuff like that. Having allies that we built over the years that we've had no problems, no quarrels mainly with, and it will take years to make a lot of this shit in America. But you think about it, if we go back to the industrial age, this is just a theory, half of it is all these trees, if you cut down all these trees and make it completely industrial, we're all going to die because, fun fact, trees do bring us air. So we do need trees. And that's not me being an environmentalist. I care about the environment, but that's a survival thing. am messing with Harriet Tubman and trying to attack the Sewing Museum when it's not just about whether you disagree. These are still people, and they wanted change, and they made history. And why are we going after so many things if it doesn't fit your agenda? What should matter is, at the end of the day, everybody is okay to be who they are, and let's focus on keeping the world going. Let's focus on peace. Let's focus on new ways to invent without, and especially when it comes to leadership, understanding that federal stuff is the federal. That's for people. That has nothing to do with the higher up. 2, it has nothing to do with the higher ups. In the higher ups, there's a system in place. Due process. Anybody that has a criminal record, if you're trying to send more mental disability, sending them to places where they're going to they're tortured, hurt, and I was appalled when I seen this. When I seen who was our head of security, showing off this camp where these people are locked up in a tiny space that they can't even fit in. They're getting tortured. They're not getting well taken care of. And you're supposed to be security. And I clearly remember this person being clearly for the people. If you're for the people, how in the fuck could you stand behind these bars when there are people in there that have not got the due process, all because they're labeled as criminals. You can't know somebody's a criminal by a tattoo. That's judging based on appearance. That is something that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. But how can you, posing with them like this is to scare them? If America is so damn great, why in the hell are we treating it like we are going to be the big bad wolf? Because when your whole pack turns on you, you are fucked. I couldn't do that. All these people and teenagers and girls they're sending teenagers, kids, and these people deserve respect to have a due process. If somebody has a criminal record, if you didn't go actually up and talk to them and see, you're not going to be able to tell everybody by a personal record. There have been a good cases that people with criminal records have changed. Think if you had a family member that did some stupid shit, but they've learned their lesson, they become a good citizen, they're a great person, but because of one record they have, then you're never going to see them again. Ever. And they're never going to see you again. And then you fight like hell to bring them back, and the main person that can bring them back says, I don't think that, so it doesn't matter if your opinions matter, so I'm just going to go what I want to go. That's heartbreaking. I have a family member who means the world to me, who technically has a record, not for killing anybody, not for hurting anybody, but he was going through some shit and he did some stupid stuff, and he knows that, but he's now a better person, and he's got a kid, and he's a good person. Fucking break my heart if I couldn't see him. There's so many things we could be focusing on. World hunger, climate change, or just getting people together. Getting the system, following a good system, helping, volunteering. There is always a way to achieve what you want without destroying and degrading and belittling your components or your other things in a way in your goal. There is a way to do it without crushing everything. Because what's going to be worth it? We have a constitution. You can freely protest. Freedom of press. Freedom of religion. It's all there. And this rant probably it didn't make much sense. But I want to say, coming from somebody that has dealt with extreme version of Christianity to the point where my grandparents used it and my father used it a reason to abuse me, my mother, and a little bit of my younger siblings. I have been sexually harassed, I've been raped, I've been through bullying, and I've been through poverty, and I've been through struggle, and I've been through heartbreak. I struggle with self-harm, but at the end of the day, don't let people take away your voice and who you fucking are. Because through all that, especially when it came to my childhood and high school, I didn't change. I stayed who I was at the time, whether it was I stayed a city girl and that wasn't going to change, or when I was being told how I should act and dress and think to be a lady, or to just be worthy of somebody else's worth and words, even though they caused me more abuse, I stayed who I was. At that time, that was like edgy and gothy. And rock and roll. Thank you. Don't let anybody take that away from you. And especially, freaking embrace who you are. The good parts of who you are. And if you ever come time in your life where you have somebody belittling you, you have somebody trying to change your opinion, or generally you have people in your life that, because it doesn't align fully with their views, if they are a good person, they are still going to always treat you with respect and grace and find the common ground, especially if it's for a common good for somebody else that they care about. So, fucking be who you are. Whether it's messy, it can be complicated. Be who you are. Dress the way you want. Please, we need diversity. We need woke and ideology, because we are woke to so much amazing things, and that is beautiful. Because you need bold colors, you need colors, and for art to be beautiful. But you know what? You also need shading, lighting. You need all that to make it realistic. So, I hope you listen to this. I hope you like this random rant, as I'm covered in sweat because I got home from work. And thank you for listening to this, and for anybody that is out there. And I really hope I'm helping and making a difference. And I'm pretty excited for May. I am so excited to volunteer, and I'm sure it's going to be good. I can't wait. I've never drove in Grand Rapids. That's highway driving. That's highway driving, and I'm so excited. Kinda. I've never driven past 60 in this car, so we'll see. Maybe. And hopefully in a few months, I will show you guys my sim life. But I think we're gonna add a twist. And because when I was growing up, I played The Sims 3. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do the first time playing The Sims 3. I have not played that since I was 13, 14. Because then eventually I got The Sims 4. But I still have it in my Steam's library. And I want to play it. I'm excited. Alright. Hope you're having a good day. And thank you again for listening. Bye. Ooh, I just paused. Hi.